Hello, story lovers, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're journeying back to the sun-kissed sands of Agrabah for a brand new adventure. You all remember Aladdin, the street rat who became a sultan, and the genie who made it all possible. But what happens after happily ever after? Let's find out in Aladdin and the Magic Lantern, the return of the djinn. Years had passed since Aladdin and Princess Jasmine married, ushering in an era of unprecedented peace and prosperity. The kingdom thrived, and the once poor boy was now a wise and beloved ruler.
Ho, ho, ho!
The magic lamp, the source of so many adventures, was now just a relic, safely locked away in the deepest corner of the royal vault. But as any good story teaches us, true magic never stays buried for long. It all began one fateful night when a sandstorm unlike any other swept across the desert. This wasn't a normal storm of wind and sand, it was a swirling vortex of shadow and dread. When the unnatural darkness finally cleared, terrified travelers whispered tales of a mysterious figure wandering the dunes.
Ho, ho, ho!
They described a being seemingly woven from shadows itself, with piercing blue eyes that glowed in the dark and a voice that echoed like the wind whistling through an ancient tune. This was Zarim, the brother of the genie. An ancient and powerful jinn, Zarim had been imprisoned countless eons ago for his insatiable cruelty and his terrifying hunger for power. He was a creature of pure malice, a stark contrast to the fun-loving genie we all know and love. For millennia, Zarim had been dormant, trapped in his ethereal prison.
Ho, ho, ho!
But when Aladdin freed the genie, the immense magical release sent ripples across the cosmos. It was a beacon that awoke Zarim from his long slumber. He could sense the residual power lingering within the lamp, a power he now craved to claim as his own. Back in the glittering city of Agrabah, a creeping darkness began to take hold. Strange and unsettling things started to happen. Fields of vibrant crops withered and turned to dust overnight. The life-giving water in the wells and fountains mysteriously evaporated.
Ho, ho, ho!
Most chillingly, the stars, the familiar celestial guides, vanished from the night sky, plunging the kingdom into an unnerving blackness. Aladdin and Jasmine knew this was no natural disaster. The air itself felt heavy with dark magic. A cold sense of foreboding led Aladdin to the royal vault. He had to be sure the lamp was safe. But as he unlocked the heavy doors and descended into the treasury, a dreadful sight met his eyes. The pedestal where the lamp once sat was empty. The lamp, the key to so much of his past, had been stolen.
Ho, ho, ho!
With the kingdom in peril, Aladdin knew he couldn't face this threat alone. He turned to his oldest and most trusted friends, Abu, the endlessly clever and slightly kleptomaniacal monkey, and Carpet, the ever-loyal and expressive magic carpet. Their bond, forged in the streets and tested by adventure, was unbreakable. Together, the trio set off, following faint magical traces left by the shadowy thief. Their journey led them deep into the unforgiving desert, to a place shunned by all caravans and travelers, the ruins of the Black Oasis.
Ho, ho, ho!
This was a cursed place where time itself seemed to warp and twist. Jagged, dark rocks jutted out from the sand like broken teeth, and the air hummed with a forgotten, malevolent energy. It was here, amidst the desolate ruins, that they encountered a mysterious woman. Her name was Layla, a desert wanderer with a quiet strength and eyes that held ancient secrets. Layla revealed she was the last living descendant of the Guardians, an ancient order sworn to watch over the jinn and maintain the balance between the human and magical worlds.
Ho, ho, ho!
She explained the terrible truth. Zarim had awoken the moment Genie was freed. The lamp, though empty of its original inhabitant, still held a faint echo of Genie's immense cosmic power. This residual magic was the very key Zorin needed to shatter his eternal chains and unleash his full, terrifying power upon the world. The situation was dire. Zorin was growing stronger by the hour, and conventional weapons were useless against a being of his power.
Ho, ho, ho!
Desperate, Aladdin remembered one last piece of magic he possessed, the old forgotten ring he had once used to summon genie from the Cave of Wonders. It held but a single, faint spark of magic. Clutching it tightly, Aladdin closed his eyes and called out into the void, pouring all his hope into one name, Genie. For a moment, there was only silence. Then a familiar, brilliant blue light exploded before them, swirling and coalescing into a beloved, larger-than-life form. It was him. Genie was back, though he looked a bit different.
Ho, ho, ho!
He wore what looked like a cosmic traveler's outfit, complete with a starry waistcoat. Retirement's a bit of a drag, Al. Not enough pizzazz. He joked, instantly lightening the mood. But his smile quickly faded as he sensed the dark energy in the air. Genie explained the nature of Zorim's power. Zorim fed on dark wishes, twisting the deepest desires of a person's heart into their own personal doom. He was a master of corruption. Fighting him with force would be playing right into his hands. "You can't punch a shadow, kid," Genie warned.
Ho, ho, ho!
The only way to defeat Zorim was not through a show of strength, but by finding a new, worthy master for the lamp, someone with a heart so pure that their wish could not be corrupted. The lamp itself had to be turned against him. The final confrontation took place beneath a blood-red sky, as Zorim's magic blotted out the sun. The desert sands swirled as Zorim, now at the peak of his power, used the lamp to summon terrifying storms and nightmarish illusions. He towered over Aladdin, a figure of pure shadow and malice.
Ho, ho, ho!
He tried to tempt Aladdin, his voice a seductive hiss that promised ultimate power. "Wish for the strength to protect your kingdom, Aladdin," Zorim whispered. "Wish for infinite power, and I will spare everyone you love. Become a god." But Aladdin had learned a long time ago that true strength doesn't come from a lamp. He looked at the lamp, at the source of all this chaos, and saw the only path forward.
Ho, ho, ho!
Ignoring Zorim's taunts, Aladdin held the lamp high and made his one and only wish, a wish so selfless and pure that Zorim could not comprehend it, let alone corrupt it. "I wish," Aladdin declared, his voice ringing with conviction, "for all who seek power over others to find peace within themselves." A blinding flash of pure, white light erupted from the lamp. The magic, untainted and absolute, flared outwards. The lamp couldn't contain such a selfless wish. It shattered into 1,000 glittering shards of light that rained down like fallen stars.
Ho, ho, ho!
Zorim let out a terrifying scream, not of pain, but of confusion, as his shadowy form began to dissolve. He wasn't destroyed. He was transformed. The raw hatred that fueled him was neutralized, turned into a profound, tranquil calm. The shadow dissipated into a harmless mist, finally at peace. As the first rays of dawn broke over the horizon, painting the sky in hues of gold and rose, the red gloom lifted. Genie placed a hand on his old friend's shoulder, his eyes filled with pride. "See, Al, you didn't need magic to be great," he said softly.
Ho, ho, ho!
"You always had it right here," he added, tapping Aladdin's chest. "You were always the diamond in the rough." With a final, trademark wink and a sparkle of cosmic dust, Genie vanished once more. This time, there were no strings, no lamp. He was truly free to wander the stars, his duty done. A grabber rejoiced. The kingdom was safe, the darkness banished. The 1,000 fragments of the magic lamp were carefully gathered and placed in the palace garden. There, they didn't hold any great power, but they glowed with a soft, gentle light illuminating the nights.
Ho, ho, ho!
They served as a beautiful reminder that true magic comes from the heart, and that even the darkest of wishes can ultimately lead to the brightest light. And somewhere, deep in the quiet of the desert, a faint laugh could be heard on the wind. Not a sound of evil, but one of gentle mischief. A reminder that magic, in all its forms, never truly ends. Thank you so much for joining me on this magical journey back to Agrabah. What did you think of this sequel? Let me know in the comments below.
Ho, ho, ho!
And if you love stories like this, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss another adventure. Until next time, keep dreaming.
Ho, ho, ho!